Hello everyone. In previous video, we have learned about integers number representation inside the computer system, and so we have performed arithmetic on integer numbers. Now in continuation with that, we will going to learn in this video about floating point numbers. So first of all, we will learn about the floating point numbers representation inside the computer system, and then we will solve some numerical based on that. Now the first question is, what are the floating point numbers, right? These floating point number formats are also called as IEEE 754, 32-bit and 64-bit format. Now we observe that there are some numbers like 10.56, 7.72, right? So these are the numbers who are having a fractional point inside them. Now what happens? 1056, this number I can represent inside the computer system. But what if this number is 10.56? Because inside the computer system, this dot cannot be represented. This dot cannot be represented. Now, if I want to perform some arithmetic on the numbers whose point is floating, let us say this particular number have the floating, the fractional point after two decimal numbers. This particular number have fractional point after one particular decimal number. Now to perform arithmetic on these two numbers will take some added time for all of us. Will take some added time for all of us. Maybe addition, maybe subtraction on this type of a number. Now here I have taken some example of numbers, right? So see, these are the numbers which are floating point numbers. So 73.2, right? 649. So the fractional point here is after this. So 649.0, right? So 0.847, right? So this is like 0.847, right? 5.63. So you will observe here that these are all floating point numbers, right? So what happens in the computer system? These numbers are converted from floating point to fixed point numbers first of all, right? So 73.2 is converted into 7.32. 649.0 it is converted into 6.49. 0.847 it is converted into 8.47, and 5.63 is kept as it is, because you will observe here that after converting these floating point numbers to fixed point numbers, we are getting a kind of a numbers in which the dot or the fraction is after fixed number, like after one decimal number we are getting the fractional point, like see here, after 7, after 6, after 8 and after 5. So this is the process that we need to do when we are going for floating point numbers numerical. So converting these floating point numbers to fixed point numbers, it is called as normalization. So this is the first step that we need to do when we are working on floating point numbers. Now see, when we are normalizing the number, converting the fixed floating point number inside the fixed point number, it is called as normalization, right? So there is a normalization rule that the fraction point should be after non-zero digit, right? So we need to remember it. Now here we are taking the example for decimal numbers, because to understand about normalization process. But inside the computer system, all the numbers are represented in the binary format. Now when we have converted this 73.2 to 7.32, right? So this number has come like 7.32 into 10 raised to 1. Now the fractional point should be after a non-zero number. So what we will be going to do? We will going to take the fractional point after the first decimal number, like from the left hand side. The first decimal number we will going to put the fractional point after that. So we can convert all the floating point numbers into fixed point numbers easily, and they will come into one format, right? So 7.32 into 10 raised to 1. Here the fractional point will come here 6.49 into 10 raised to 2. Here 8.47 into 10 raised to minus 1, and 5.63, right, into 10 raised to 0, because the number is same. So this is known as, reference position. So what we have done now, all the floating point numbers we have converted into fixed point numbers, so that we can perform some operation on them. Now the next question is, in the computer system, these numbers, all the floating point numbers, are first of all converted into fixed point numbers, and they are stored in the form of registers, right? And how they are stored? See, they are stored in the form of mantissa and exponent, right? So this is the kind of a register set we have made here to store these numbers. So these are all exponent values, these are all mantissa values. So see, exponent is 1, the value is, the numerical value is 732. So if exponent is 1 and the value is 732, so it will be understood by the computer system that it is 7.32 into 10 raised to 1. 7.32 into 10 raised to 1. So the value will be 73.2. The actual value will be 73.2. Next, exponent is 2, the base value is 649. So computer will understand this value as 6.49 into 10 raised to 2. So 6.49 into 10 raised to 2 means what? 649. So this is the actual value. Next, here exponent is minus 1. The original value is 847. Right. Now the computer will understand this value as 8.47 into 10 raised to minus 1. So 8.47 into 10 raised to minus 1 is 0.847. Next example. So exponent is 0. The base value is 563. So inside the computer the numbers are stored as it is. See, because this being the decimal number, the computer can easily understand that, because after every non-zero digit the fractional number is there. So the computer knows only this much of the register stack, this much of the values, right? So it will have only this much of the value. So what it will understand, that it is 5.63 into 10 raised to 0. 5.63 into 10 raised to 0. So it is 5.63. So this is the value that we are getting after looking at this number. So computer will only have such kind of register sets. The computer will only have these types of numbers inside it, because the computer cannot store the fractional point, right? Understanding this. So as the computer cannot store the fractional point, it has to store the numbers in some proper format in which the computer can access it, the computer can understand it. So this is the representation in the form of mantissa and exponent. Mantissa and exponent. So computer will only have this much of the values. So this data the computer will not have. This is for our understanding. This is for our understanding, right? So computer finally will have, or actually will have, such kind of data, right? So these values are known as exponent. These values are known as mantissas, right? So with these many examples, the thing of representing them into mantissa and exponent might be getting clear to you. And now we will going to apply the similar technique for binary numbers, because we know inside the computer system all the data is stored in the form of binary values.